Thank you for watching this edition of the Spotlight After Show. We just cut our top 6 to the top 3, so we're going to talk about that, the song choices, and make predictions. I have here with us super Spotlight fan, Jarrod Mills.
Woo! Yeah!
Shout out to Jarrod, number 1 fan on Twitter.
There we go.
And we have Sara, who does our backstage interviews. Those with BAM, so thank you guys for being here.
No problem.
Sara, Donahue, and Jarrod Mills. All right, let's talk about the top 3. Tonight we lost Tim, Sydney, and Ashley.
Yep.
Quite frankly, it could not have happened on a worse night because I was talking before the show. I haven't seen every single season of the show, but this is the best one I've seen to date. Jarrod, what are your thoughts?
By far. I've only been involved with Spotlight for maybe 2 years, and I was going into this wanting to be a jerk.
Yeah.
But after tonight's performances, it's going to be really hard for me to nitpick at anybody.
I know. It was great.
I'm kind of bummed out, but happy for them all at the same time. So
And we brought you on to be our token jerk. And
I
there's
know.
nothing bad to say.
That's the whole reason I'm here right now, is to be a jerk, and I can't do that.
It's going to be like the Grinch whose heart has grown 2 times bigger. Sara, what is your comments overall?
That it was phenomenal. Like it's hard for me to think back on a season when we had so many like perfect performances. Literally, there was not a one that I could sit and say was awful. Like I was just kind of overwhelmed by that. Overwhelmed by the perfection.
And of all the 6, not all of them can belt out like Brandy, but what they all did, I think, is shown growth from the very first top 12 show all the way till now. So it was really sad to kind of see them go.
Yeah.
To go home or back to their dorm room, which is across the street.
Not too far.
Tim, Sydney, and Ashley. I know that a lot of people that have sat on this couch have put Ashley in the top 3. Were you guys surprised that she was not in the top 3, Sara?
From the beginning, I kind of had my top 3 in mind. Just, because for me, I don't listen to a lot of rap. It just isn't my thing. Like, but, I just don't listen to a lot of it.
I don't really believe that. I've passed by you in your car with the windows rolled down.
Yeah.
On
Stop,
occasion.
Stop.
On occasion.
I love our token laugher that we have. I love it.
Contagious.
So for me, it was easier for me to pick out the singers, and just take, and I'm really big on, like, them as people, too. I feel like that has something to do with it, and, like, their presence on stage and stuff. So I wasn't totally shocked, not meaning that in a bad way, though. Like, she's legit. Like, she's good at what she does. It was just, it's difficult. Like, it's a big deal that she had made it this far as a rapper. And hopefully, like, she does it again and makes it that far, she can make it to the top 3 and maybe even win. So I think it's an accomplishment for her to make it this far as a rapper, not a singer.
Well, that leads me, Jarrod, to my next question. We talked a whole lot, even the cab office and on the after show, how rapping would do in Spotlight. Well, the rapping is done. We had one go to the top 6.
All right.
How do you think that it will affect the competition in the future?
Well, like Sara said, I hope Ashley comes back and tries. She's an undergrad, right? Well,
Yes,
yeah,
I believe so.
Like
I know she's a transfer, so I don't know what year she is exactly.
well, if she's
Think
back
she's younger.
next year, please do it again, because after tonight, I'm a fan. I know I've been skeptical about the rappers just because it's hard to understand if they're not enunciating and things like that. But to go back to your question, I hope that it brings out more rappers, because the audience really seems to click with the rappers more, and you just get more interaction. You don't have to beg them to clap and cheer along with you like some other performers. They just initially want to have a good time. So I hope there's a plethora of rappers now.
I don't want to dwell
It's a rap show.
on the people voted out a whole huge amount, but I've got to say, because I had said last week that I felt like that we'd seen all that we could see from Sydney, I was 100% wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sydney did awesome tonight, so I really hated to see her go. I knew she was going, but I was
Yeah.
like, man, it's an awful night.
I know. Good.
I love Sydney. Like, she's just such a sweet girl. And before every performance, she always goes in doubting herself. She's always just like, this is going to be so rough. Like, she just always expects the worst of, like, herself and beats herself up. And I'm like, girl, like, you have got a voice. Like, you have to be confident. Like, you are rocking it. And it's so neat to see her growth throughout this entire thing. And I hope that just continues even after, like, even though she's finished.
I think if we were basing the vote on tonight's performances, which is the way the competition is set up, that's impossible. But
Right.
I think based on tonight, any of the 6 could have been in the top 3.
Oh, yeah.
Just
easy.
based on tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy probably is pretty locked in, but the rest of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go to our token stick figures.
Oh yeah.
That leaves us with Jordan, Sarah Jo, and Brandy. So how do we feel about that, Jarrod?
I'm okay with it. However, personally, I would have Ashley in there. Just take one of the other singers out, not Brandy. So Brandy, Ashley, and a wild card up here. Just so it's more entertaining. Because I feel like now on the finale night we're going to get 3 versions of kind of the same thing. You're going to get really good singing, really good stage presence with Jordan. And I just wish we could have something different, a twist.
Well,
Like-
we can maybe try to throw something in because you know that Cab gets the choice of a song
That's true.
for the finale, so we'll see. Let's talk about the 2 rounds. There basically were 2 rounds tonight.
Right.
There was the contestant's choice and the judge's choice. Let's do contestant's choice first.
Okay.
Sarah, if you had to pick one winner for that round, who would it be?
Or contestant's choice. Ooh. That, man.
Jarrod, could you pick one right now? While Sarah is
Uh,
contemplating.
That was tough. That was a tough question.
You know, I would give an honorable mention to Jordan. I've never heard that song before. I really liked it. It was less gimmicky than what I'm used to from him.
Right.
So I'll give him props for that. But I mean, I've been Team Brandy since day one.
Yeah.
And she killed it. The Independence Day, early '90s country music, like it makes me want to go download some now. I'm a Martina McBride fan, thanks to Brandy Norman.
I think,
Sarah, have you made a choice?
yeah, well, I keep going between 2. For me, it was Brandy and Ashley. Brandy's voice, she is just a powerhouse. Like, her voice demands your attention. She doesn't
Yes.
have to ask for it. And that song, like, I love Martina McBride. I, like, love her. And I can just jam out to that. And I just caught myself, like, singing along with her. Like, it's something you'd hear on the radio. Like, you could sing along with it. And Ashley was ridiculous. Like, she was phenomenal. And she was just so confident. And I love that. She did it great.
So what we have here is non-committal. We got Jarrod throwing out honorable mention. Sarah's like giving $1,000 and split it 2 ways. Let's talk about the second round, the judge's choice. Now, I, along with Brad, the host of Spotlight, we were in the room when the judges made these decisions.
Right.
And I think that they all came off perfectly. Who would you give this round to? Sarah.
I'm going to say Sarah Jo, and that's because going into this, when I was told that they had picked Wrecking Ball for her, I was so nervous. And not that I doubt her ability as a performer, as
Why
a
don't you
singer.
go ahead and tell the people what you said?
That I don't
Go ahead
even.
and own it. Go ahead and own it.
I don't
Just
even
say
remember
it. Just
what
say
I
it.
said verbatim.
That maybe that she was being set up for failure.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that was
that
the
is
good-
what it was. I couldn't remember.
Uh-huh.
I was just really nervous because I felt like you had Sarah Jo here and Molly Cyrus way back here, and I didn't really feel like there was really an in-between, so I was like, I just really hope you guys aren't setting her up for failure, like this judge's pick is really making me nervous, and when I heard her practicing, she was doing well, but I was still really, really nervous, and she was phenomenal.
The intent behind that song choice was to just pull her out of country
Yeah.
music, and it worked.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
that's I was talking about it later on after I had made said comment that ruffled feathers, but
My feathers. I was ruffled.
but we Ashley was tested because she had to do that Look at Me Now, and like that was really difficult
Well-
for her, and so
let me real quick give you this behind the scenes little tidbit. There was kind of not a struggle because it was easy to pick these songs really, but there was talk of, because the whole goal with the judges' choice on songs was to challenge each and every one of the contestants. But could they just toss Ashley just a simple rap because she can't sing? That would be like, we're going to challenge you, but here's a rap because it's all you can do. So they chose this song because it had really fast parts in it, which would be a challenge. And she indicated tonight on stage that was a challenge for her. So I also thought that was a successful choice.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say was that once I had thought about it longer and I had talked to other people and they were like, well, this is, like, they're challenging Ashley by giving her this song. And so that's, like, the equivalent of what they did with Sarah Jo. They gave her Wrecking Ball, which was, a challenge for her, but her and Ashley both, they did phenomenal. But I'd say just judges pick, if you just had that selection, Sarah Jo. That's phenomenal.
I also would give it to Sarah Jo. Jarrod?
I enjoyed Sarah Jo's performance. I really loved the distortion in the guitar. Papa Hendrix, I gave him a nickname. He did a really good job.
Papa Hendrix.
Papa Hendrix. I don't know.
Eric just called him Daddy, I think.
I'm not that brave.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to go with Ashley.
Okay.
I actually stood up and clapped for her because once she nailed that first part of the Busta Rhymes rap, and I try in my car. I'm driving down the interstate. I'm driving home for a break or something, and I'm trying to keep up with Busta Rhymes. I can't do it.
I can.
Well, of course you can.
Easy.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
No big deal.
So the fact that she was able to do that impressed me. Of course, it sucks that she went home right after her performance, after nailing it. But that's the name of the game, I guess. So.
I can't wait for the finale next week. I think any one of these three, I don't know, any of those three could win and I would be okay with it. Sarah Jo really won me over tonight, I'll say that. In lieu of time, though, let's get to, you guys picked some tweets that we want to share with the public. So let's go ahead and do that before we wrap up. Jarrod, you first.
Okay, the first one comes from Brody Nolan.
Okay.
At this redhead kid. He said, can the mayor of Williamsburg guest judge Spotlight every time because he's hilarious?
I'm sure he's probably busy.
Maybe. I don't know. It's a small town.
Yeah.
Not really much going on. But I agree. Mayor Harrison, great pick for a guest judge tonight.
Yeah, he was
Kept
really
me
funny.
laughing. I'm hard to please in humor because I'm so
Lisa
funny.
is sitting just behind the second camera, very proud of herself right
Good
now.
job, Lisa. Good job. I'll give you a clap.
You don't hit a home run very often, Lisa, but when you do.
Solid pick tonight.
All right, Sarah.
I picked two. But Abby Cherry tweeted, Sarah flipping Joe, she seriously came in like a wrecking ball, ... a little wrecking ball, but one with so much power. And that was completely accurate, totally fit
Dead on.
her performance for that. And then Taylor Mays had tweeted, in my opinion, every single one of these performances tonight have been top-notch and absolutely perfect. And that was completely spot on.
Like we said at the beginning, probably the best Spotlight I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a jerk so bad.
I know,
tonight
but
on the
it'll
show.
happen.
Maybe
It just rolls out like water for you, like myself.
It does. So I don't know. Maybe somebody will really mess up at the finale, and I'll get to be a jerk.
All right, well, that is it. We cannot wait to do the last after show. There's some weird things happening in here right now. I cannot wait to do the last after show. At that time, we will know who our winner is. And just one word, one name. You guys want to make a prediction?
Brandy.
I'm going to go with Brandy.
I don't know who I want, so I'm not going to say anything. I know, total cop-out. Thank you guys so much for watching.